Welcome to Think Wide. Are you ready to explore the world with us? Let's get started.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a journey, a really flavorful one, deep into the world of Pakistani cuisine. We're going to find out how a single plate of food can tell you everything about a country's history. We're talking empires, migration, the whole story. And this quote, it just nails it. A roadmap of history. That's exactly what it is. To really get Pakistani food, you have to think of it like that. Every single flavor, every spice, it's a landmark on a map that stretches back centuries. All right, so let's actually follow that map, shall we? Our journey starts by looking at how all these different historical layers simmer together to create the food we know and love today. You see, Pakistani cuisine isn't just one thing. It's this amazing tapestry woven from a few major threads. You've got the Mughals, who brought all this artistry and sophistication. Think korma and saffron. Then you've got traders from Central Asia bringing in the absolute staples, naan and kebabs. But the one event that changed everything was the 1947 partition. That was the real game changer. And this slide right here, wow, it just lays it all out. Before 1947, the food in this region was, pretty straightforward. Simple grains, simple meats. But after partition, everything changed. Millions of migrants, the muhajirs, they didn't just bring their belongings, they brought their recipes. They carried these rich, complex, royal flavors from places like Delhi and Lucknow and literally planted them in the streets of their new home, especially in cities like Karachi. The whole food scene transformed, like overnight. Okay, so with that history lesson under our belts, let's get to the good stuff. Let's take a look at the absolutely delicious results of this incredible culinary mashup. So, what are the undisputed kings of Pakistani food? Well, if you're looking for like a starter pack, the absolute must-try dishes, our source material gives us a pretty definitive top 10 list. These are the icons you'll find everywhere, loved by everyone. First up, we've got the heavy hitters. I mean, come on. Biryani, that layered perfection of spicy aromatic rice. Then there's chicken karahi. So simple but so intense. And yeah, the real deal has no onions. You've got Haleem, which is like the ultimate comfort food in a bowl. The chapli kebab from Peshawar, a total masterpiece. And of course, the slow-cooked legend itself, Nihari. And the list just keeps on going. We've got incredible regional specialties like saji from Balochistan. That's a whole roasted lamb or chicken. There's the super traditional breakfast, siri paya. The heart and soul of Punjab, saag with cornbread. The Sikh kebab that everyone everywhere loves. And to finish, the sweet, festive rice dish, zarda. But out of all those amazing dishes, the story of Nihari is the one that just perfectly captures the country's whole journey. Think about it. It started out in the fancy royal kitchens of Delhi, right, for the elites. But after 1947, it migrated with the people to the streets of Karachi. It basically went from being this exclusive dish for Nawabs to food for everyone. It became democratized, and that's when it truly earned its crown as the undisputed king of Pakistani food. Okay, so we've covered the national treasures. Now let's take a little road trip across the country, because in Pakistani, what's on your plate really depends on where you are on the map. And here is the one simple rule you need to remember to understand Pakistan's regional food. It's super simple. The further west you go, the less spice you'll find. The focus shifts completely away from complex masalas and goes straight to the pure, high quality of the meat itself. That's the key. So, our first stop is Punjab, the agricultural heartland of the country. And if you had to describe the food here in one word, that word would be richness. Yeah, Punjabi food is all about that hearty, indulgent flavor. We're talking a very generous use of dairy, butter, and desi ghee. It's all about creating these comforting, soul-warming dishes, like murg chole, that's chicken and chickpeas, and of course, the world-famous butter chicken. All right, next we're heading south to the province of Sindh. Here, being near the coast and the massive Indus River means the flavors on the table are completely different. This is where they really crank up the spice level. Sindhi cuisine is famous for being tangy and fiery. It's exactly why Sindhi biryani is so legendary. It's got that extra kick, often from dried plums. And you absolutely cannot talk about Sindh without mentioning its pride and joy, the pala fish. Okay, now we're traveling west into Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, or KP. And here, the whole philosophy of cooking just flips on its head. The spices take a back seat, and the meat becomes the absolute star of the show. Honestly, it's a minimalist's dream. The cooking is stripped right back to the essentials. You won't find heavy, complex masalas here. Instead, it's all about incredible quality meat cooked simply with salt and its own fat. A dish like shinwari karai is the perfect example. It's basically just meat, tomatoes, and salt. That's it. And it's amazing. And for our final stop, we're heading into the vast, rugged landscapes of Baluchistan, a place that's home to some of the most ancient, primal cooking methods you'll find anywhere. The traditions here are just timeless, defined by slow cooking techniques that are perfect for that kind of terrain. You've got saji, where a whole lamb is roasted for hours over embers, and dampukth, where meat is gently steamed in its own fat. I mean, these are cooking methods that have been passed down for centuries. So, we've seen what the food is, we've seen where it comes from, but maybe the most important thing to get is that in Pakistan, food is so much more than just a meal. It is a language. It's a core part of the culture. And this table just shows that connection so perfectly. Food marks every single important moment. You can't celebrate Eid al-Fitr without sheer khurma, that sweet vermicelli pudding. You go to a wedding, there will be chicken korma. Every festival, every milestone in life has its own signature dish. Food also sets the rhythm of everyday life. You know, a weekend just doesn't feel right without a big, celebratory halwa puri breakfast. Lunch is usually something simple and dependable like dal and rice. But then you have evening tea. That is a sacred daily ritual. And dinner? Well, dinner is always the main event. It's when families get together for the big dishes, the karahi, the kebabs, all of it. And that really just says it all, doesn't it? Whether you're grabbing a kebab from a dusty street stall or sitting down for nihari in a fancy restaurant, you're not just eating food. You are literally tasting the story of the nation, its strength, its history, its incredible hospitality. Which leaves us with a pretty cool question to think about, right? If a nation's food tells its story, what story does your plate tell? Because at the end of the day, food is what connects all of us to our own history, our families, and our culture. It's a language everyone understands, and as we've seen today, Pakistan speaks it absolutely beautifully.
I hope you enjoyed our video. Thanks for listening. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Keep watching Think Wide.